I'd like to call Tsao to the stage. She's going to talk about Radiation Oncology Education Collaborative Study Group Physics Curriculum Needs Assessment for RADONC residents. May.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for the opportunity to speak today. First of all, I'd like to thank the ROECSG GME members for collaborating on this project. We're grateful for the opportunity to present our results of the physics needs curriculum, which follows nicely with the previous talk for radiation oncology residents. So the objectives of this project were twofold. We evaluated the current environment with respect to physics training for radiation oncology residents, and we also performed a needs assessment regarding physics study resources. And in the fall of winter of 2023, a web-based anonymous multi-center survey was administered. So thank you everyone who participated in this survey, and also thank you to the program directors who I emailed, who also supported this study. So since the abstract was published, there were 74 respondents. 90% of them were from the US and 10% were from Canada. I'm from Canada, if you can't tell. The most respondents came from our PGY4 radiation oncology residents. Universally from our respondents, the physics curriculum was taught by our radiation physicists, and a smaller proportion of our respondents indicated that dosimetrists, radiation therapists, and radiation oncologists also participated in teaching the physics curriculum. And the majority of the format was given through didactic lectures. We didn't ask about the flipped classroom, but that's also a good option as well. So as mentioned by Dr. Williamson, there's also this AAPM Astro paper that described 22 core topics for the physics curriculum that should be included in radiation oncology residency training. But in terms of our respondents, only 38% were aware of this paper. Universally though, almost everyone, 99% were interested in a physics study resource. And we found that the most helpful format would be in the form of a multiple choice question bank with detailed answers. And this far exceeded the other optional formats, which included clinical cases with physics questions and answers, and also recorded lectures. And also this exceeded the other option of handbook bullet point style. And the actually least favored option was the traditional textbook chapter-based, and only about 40% felt that that type of format was moderately or most helpful. So in terms of format, multiple choice question bank with detailed answers was felt to be the most helpful. An example of this is the radiobiology study guide, which many of you may be familiar with. And this is an example of a multiple choice question with detailed answers. And the idea here is to develop a physics study guide in the same format, but focused on physics, clinical physics questions. So the concept of gathering people, we have begun to gather authors for each of the different chapters. This table lists, it's in small font, you don't have to look at the details, but this table lists the different core curriculum topics as outlined by AAPM and Astro. And we begun to gather authors for each of these topics. Each of these topics will be multidisciplinary in terms of authorship, written by a radiation oncology resident, a radiation oncology radiation physicist resident, a radiation oncologist, and a radiation physicist. So if you are interested in participating as an author, please feel free to email me or find me during this conference. The goal is to complete this by next year, December, or earlier if possible, and to post it on the ARROW website. And we're trying to develop a format in the multiple choice question bank with detailed answers that's searchable by keywords. So in conclusion, our needs assessment revealed that there is strong interest in developing a physics study resource, and the most helpful or most ideal format was deemed to be a physics question bank with detailed answers. And given time constraints, we also identified certain core curriculum physics topics which were felt by the respondents to be underemphasized or overemphasized in terms of clinical practice and for the board examination. For example, about 40 to 50% of our respondents felt that dosimetry and plan evaluation were underemphasized, and about 20 to 25% of respondents indicated that fundamental physics was overemphasized. And we can kind of see why that might be. For example, we don't daily think about the Bremsstrahlung tail, right? So these types of further details will help in terms of domain weighting for teaching and also possibly for the certification board examination questions. So thank you everyone for your attention.